Hi CV, welcome to Marking Period 3, 2018. I am back with 5 more of my favorite book choices for this marking period. My first choice is actually 2 books. I have recommended 2 books this year that sequels have come out for each, and they are both going to be featured as my first pick. If you're one of those people who's read our One Book, One School choice, Scythe by Neil Shusterman, you are definitely going to want to pick up Thunderhead. This is the second book in the Arc of the Scythe trilogy, and it is phenomenal. I couldn't put down Scythe when I was reading it. I feel the same way about Thunderhead. You continue to follow Citra and Rowan and what happens after Conclave in this book. However, the coolest part about this is the perspective has switched. In Scythe, we heard all the Scythe journals about all the different people. Here, our journals are from the Thunderhead. So the way the story is told, the way that everybody's looking at everything is totally different because we have a new perspective. But you have the same drama, the same plot twist, and the same unexpected things that continue to happen. It is well worth your read, especially if you love Scythe. My next sequel that I want to tell you about is actually the sequel to The 1,000th Floor. This time it's called The Dazzling Heights. This is the same drama that we all loved in The Dazzling Heights, but this time we've added a new character. So everybody returns from the 1,000th Floor, but this time in The Dazzling Heights we have Calliope Brown, a new character who is introduced. She's just moved to New York City. What we don't know originally is that her mom is a con artist, and so is she. So they come in and they enter this picture and everything changes. Everything goes crazy. If you liked all the drama, if you liked the suspense and the fun in this futuristic novel, 1,000th Floor, you are going to love The Dazzling Heights. This is my other sequel pick for this marking period. My next book is one that came out not too long ago, but it's one that's gained a lot of popularity. This one is called Read Between the Lines. I know the cover looks a little bit scandalous, you know what read between the lines means here. However, this book is awesome. It is 10 different stories, 10 different accounts of the same day. So you're hearing 10 different teenagers, and a teacher actually, who are telling you what happened in a day at their school. Crazy enough, every story seems to incorporate the middle finger. Someone has, typically not in a good way, given someone else the middle finger in a way that they probably didn't even deserve it. But you kind of get to see how all of this builds to a big moment where there's a big realization about everything that happens. If for nothing else, for no other reason, this one's worth a read because it's so many different perspectives that are wound together to tell one awesome story. Check this one out. Next one I have for you guys is called All the Bright Places. This one's been popular on a lot of the lists, like the PA Young Reader's Choice and things like this. All the Bright Places is outstanding. My husband and I both absolutely loved this book when we read it. This book tells the story of Finch and Violet, who are 2 teenagers who didn't really have anything in common. They didn't do anything together. They didn't even really know each other, even though they went to the same school. And they meet one day on top of the bell tower, which is high above the school, and they're both up there for not so good reasons. It's not quite clear who helps who down from the tower. There's a bunch of different stories that circulate, but they're assigned together to work on a project where they're finding all these amazing things in their state and their town, and they go off on this adventure together, and a friendship that you wouldn't expect, a relationship that you wouldn't expect forms between the 2 of them. We realize that there's some other things at play in this relationship. There's some mental illness involved, there's some struggles and some grief that kind of get in the way of everything that's going on, but it is such a story that will just bring you out your emotions. Your laughter, your tears, all of the above will come out as you read this book. It is well worth a read. No, it's a little bit serious. There's a little bit of mental illness and serious topics that are talked about in here, but that's what makes it so good. It's just like real life. My next choice is probably the most popular book that I have in my classroom. This is called Yummy, The Last Days of a South Side Shorty. One of the main reasons why this is so popular is because it's a graphic novel. I try to usually pick a graphic novel because they're always pretty interesting. So Yummy is about this young boy who is involved in a gang. And Yummy is called that because he loves candy. You know, he's a kid just like anybody else, but he's gotten involved with this gang, and Yummy gets himself into some trouble. People are speculating whether Yummy has done what people said he did or whether he didn't, and people are trying to figure out what's going on here. And you have to read it. I'm not telling you anymore, but you have to read it to find out Yummy's story. If you're interested in what it means to be a teenager, what it means to be a part of a gang, what it means to be with friends, what it means to figure out who you are, what it means to suffer something tragic, Yummy is a story for you. It's based on a true story. So Yummy is an actual person. He was an actual person, and this one you're definitely going to want to check out. Last but not least, this is like a super well-loved copy from my classroom. This one's called Runner. This is a fiction book. It's a novel here, and it follows Chance. So Chance lives on a houseboat with his dad, and it turns out that Chance doesn't really have what he needs. So he doesn't always have food to eat. His dad is not always reliable, but Chance always has running. Running is what keeps him going. And one day, a guy offers him the opportunity to pick up unmarked packages. He says, you know, I already see you running here. Why don't you do me a favor, and I'll leave packages under this tree. When you see one, you pick it up and you deliver it to this place. He doesn't know who it's going to. He doesn't know what's inside the packages, and he recognizes this is probably pretty shady. But he decides to do it anyway. Chance realizes that this is his opportunity to make some money. This is his opportunity to be able to eat when he's hungry and to be able to live a better life, so he takes it. Believe me, it's actually shady. What he has agreed to do gets him in a whole slew of different situations, and he has to take the time to get himself out of them. The end of this book in particular is well worth the read. So those are my choices for this marking period. All of them are available in the library. All of them are available in my classroom, room 107. So if you're interested in finding a book to read, come by and see me sometime.